wanted to share NARRPR. So NARRPR is something that I actually use weekly, bi-weekly. I use it all the time, and I really like it because number one, it's free. Does everyone in here use NARRPR? Okay. Yeah, I know Lexi does, Gary. Good job. So, one thing for those of you who are not already on it, and by the way, Lexi, if you see people come on, if you don't mind, just clicking the admit button for me, that'd be awesome. Um, so one thing I really like about NARRPR, it is available to everyone that is with the National Association of Realtors. So it's definitely something that everyone should do. Because there's so much information, you can do so much. This is just a brief introduction of how I use the tools in there. But what I have done is I have created a presentation tutorial for you guys that everyone who attends will have access to, and it will go through different searches that you can conduct and just different ways to use NARRPR. So obviously we know NARRPR can not only look at some market trends in local neighborhoods, but it's a very good tool for prospecting for home sellers or potential home buyers. It allows you to download 2,000 leads per month at no cost. So that tool itself is just invaluable. And it now has some advanced features where we can take the information and rather than stew over how to, infer all the data and write it all out or email our clients, now we have a way to not only make a very ready-made YouTube script, but we also have posts available for social media where you're not having to create the content. So the last thing that we're going to talk about with NARRPR is something called opportunity zones. Has anyone used opportunity zones on NARRPR? Okay, so opportunity zones we'll get into more later, but it is a federal program that started in 2017 to identify rural and economic disadvantaged areas that they want folks to invest in. And because of that, they provide commercial and residential investors opportunities to defer their capital gains for until December of 2026, but also to permanently get rid of any kind of depreciation taxes that they'd have to pay and capital gains in the future. So we'll kind of talk about that as an opportunity for our investor clients. So first thing is I'd like to kind of show you the guide that you guys will get when you leave, and we'll kind of, let me share my screen. All right. Oh, getting some more people in. Welcome, guys. We're just about to get started. So I'm going to share my screen now so you can see what you're going to get after we have like the live tutorial. So I made this for you guys in Canva and I'll send it to all of you. But basically, this will go through not only some of the highlights about NARRPR. For those of you just joining, it's a free tool for anyone that's a member of NAR. It costs you absolutely nothing and everyone should be using it. We will go through not only how to set up an account, but there are helpful videos that I attach through it. We will look to set up our own markets because in your profile, we're going to learn how to set up the markets that we work in. From there, you're going to learn different ways that you can prospect. So in the Canva bundle you'll get after this, it'll actually walk you through how to identify potential clients, home buyers and home sellers with a step-by-step tutorial of it, and how you can add these actually to your CRM, which is a wonderful tool if you guys haven't done that. Let me add these people. From there, we are going to talk about how you can also link it to your mail provider, whether you want to use Canva for postcards, if you want to use Mailbox Power, or whatever tool that you're using. It's a great way to reach out. They actually provide some templates that we're going to explore. And then from there, we're going to talk and spend the rest of the time going over opportunity zones and how it can be a powerful tool for our investor clients looking to have some tax deferment opportunities with this federal program. So let's go ahead and start at the home page, and you guys can feel free to go along with us actually in your NARRPR. For those of you that are just joining, is there anyone here that is not already, if you guys could turn on your camera if you're able to, but anyone here not using NARRPR yet? So most people have at least logged in. Okay, that's great. Okay, so from here, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to learn how to prospect for home sellers. And we've talked about this before, but let's just talk about the stats. So for home sellers, we understand that older boomers and younger boomers, we're talking the age range of 58 to 76, make up 52% of our home sellers. So I like to personally focus on that when I'm prospecting in NARRPR. In fact, we also found out that most of them are staying in their home from 10 to 16 years. So that's great information as we begin the prospecting. So we're here on our NAR. Let me go to the home page. Now, from here, we are going to actually start to prospect. And these guided tours are helpful because they actually tell you next steps. Everyone's still looking at my screen, correct? Okay, good deal. So when we click on prospecting, it actually walks you through with helpful things. So right now, we're going to be looking for potential home sellers. This is the way that I like to use it. And we're going to click on research. Now, from there, we're going to do a map search so you can kind of sort out what area you want to stay in. Because we're residential, I'm going to leave mine toggled on residential up here. And then from there, I'm going to enter in a zip code, and I actually like to narrow it down more than that. But for this, let's just say we're going to use my zip code in Raleigh. And then we're going to click on filters because there's going to be a lot of results. So right now we want to filter down what we're looking for when we're prospecting for sellers. So based on that, we're going to only look at public records right now. We don't want to know what's for lease and what's for sale. That's not what we're doing for this example. So from there, we're going to still look at the 500 or less unless you're looking to actually do a lead export of 5,000 or more, which I don't want to do. So the next thing that we're going to do is, for the purposes of this one, I'm going to be looking at owner-occupied homes because I'm looking for what the data tells me. I want homeowners that have been in their home from 10 to 16 years for this report. So I'm going to make sure I click on owner-occupied. And now I'm going to narrow down what I want. I don't want 5 to 10 and 10 to 15. I'm just going to stick for right now the 10 to 15 year section. And then from there, I can update and search. Now you can search in a more narrow area by actually drawing here on the map what area you want to target, but I'm going to leave it as is for right now. So when I update and search, what I see is that it's identified the 500 properties out of 1,000 that are available in this area, which is why I typically narrow it down even smaller. So I like to do it right around my farm area, which is my neighborhood, and I like to do a 5-mile radius. So, but for the purposes of this example, we're going to stick with just the zip code. Now, you can do mailing labels right here. You can download as a CSV, which is what I prefer. So if you download it as a CSV, I can show you that later, but let's just go ahead. We'll do CSV. We are going to want it to go out to the owner's name. So we're not going to choose absentee owners. We only want owner occupied, right? Because that's who we're going to target in this particular prospecting activity. And we're going to exclude anyone on the do not mail list. It's really nice that that's already added in as a feature. And then we're going to click export. Now you'll notice here, I've already exported some. Every one of us has 2,000 leads free every single month that we can download. Now, let me see how many results. So this one is 999. I am not going to click export only because I don't want it to go over my 2000. So let me just show you what you can do with this. So now that you have the mailing labels for this area, and I actually have one that I can show you. Let me just see. I probably won't be able to find it. Hold on. Maybe it's in my download section. I don't even see my downloads. But okay, so once you have the CSV file, from here, you can actually import it into your CRM, whether you use KV Core, if you use Follow Up Boss, you can actually upload that. And now you have a mailable lead source that you can target your marketing campaigns for. Now, that's just one way you can do it. I'm going to show you in Canva what I like to do with it. So for Canva, they actually, through NARRPR, give you some Canva templates, and they're postcard templates. And you can use this and just save it on your computer and use it with Mailbox Power or anything you want to send out your postcards. But they offer different ones, and this is all included in that Canva guide I'm going to give you, so you don't have to search for all of this. I link to you the Canva templates that are given by NARRPR. So here's one of them, and I'm in my Canva. Now, here's what's really cool. So from here, it gives you the front and the back that you can customize. So I would obviously, I would look for a picture and I can change the words here. Now, what should your messaging say? I'll tell you what I like to put in mine. You can see I was busy in Etsy making pop-by tags, but we'll just use this silly picture as an example. But whatever picture you want, okay, you're going to change the message. You're going to change your signature. And this is really easy. You're going to add your email. You can change your coloring so that it can reflect more of your logo and what your marketing, design colors are. Now, from here, you're able to change all of this information, and you can market this to that lead list. And what I would do for this particular one is I would rely on the facts that I know. So I have just created a list for prospects that are in a home for 10 to 15 years that might be interested in selling. I'm going to give them a market overview of their area and whether it's a buyer or seller market with this postcard. And here's what my messaging would be. We know the top 4 reasons that 58 to 76-year-olds typically are selling their homes. So the number 1 reason is to be closer to family or friends. So a great postcard would be, are you looking to move closer to your family and friends? Here is a snapshot of your area, and it's a great opportunity for you to sell your home and all of that good stuff. So you can arrange it for that. The number 2 reason is moving due to retirement. So another postcard that I might send out to that same group, maybe a month later, would be, are you moving due to retirement? And then I would give a little blurb about that. Number 3 reason is to downsize. So they're looking for smaller footprint, smaller, maybe 1-story homes. So I would use that in my next messaging on this postcard. And the 4th one is that they're not a fan of their neighborhood. So if anyone has good ideas how you could put that on a postcard, let me know, but I don't know what to say. So you hate your neighborhood, huh? I don't know. I'll let you guys figure that out. But so let's go back over to property, or I'm sorry, to NARRPR. Now, at this point, everyone in here, have you used your NARRPR for this particular type of report? Okay, so like I said, everyone's going to get that Canva guide. So Carrie, you'll have a detailed step-by-step just in case, so you don't have to rewatch everything. But let's go back over and let me show you my favorite thing to use it for. And this is like what gets me so excited because this was actually introduced to NARRPR in 2023. And this tool like just blows my mind. Lexi actually introduced it to me, and now I can't get enough of it. So let me go ahead and share with you a really cool tool. All right, everybody should be looking at my screen. So the first thing that I really like to do is I want to send out in my farm area neighborhood updates, because if you're on Nextdoor, it's a great tool. If you're part of community groups on Facebook, such as blah, blah, blah neighborhood or blah, blah, blah area, this is a great way to offer value and people will start to talk. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to get a market report of a particular area. So I'm going to look at neighborhood search. And for this example, I'm going to use a neighborhood in my area that's popular. And what I mean by popular is it really does have a lot of turnover for buyers and sellers. So let me go ahead and press search. Now, this provides me a great neighborhood insight. It's a great neighborhood summary, and it has different reports built right in, or different graphs. One of them is a market trend. It'll let you know if it's a seller's market, a balanced market, or a buyer's market. And what's really cool is it'll tell you how much inventory, months of inventory is there, and the list to sold price, which this is great, and how many days on average it stays on the market, and what the average home price was that sold. From there, it has more graphs about the estimated property value, how it's changed over 12 months. So even in a difficult market, they are still seeing increases in their, I guess, equity level and what their property is worth, which is always great news. The next chart is great because this is an AARP livability index, and it just gives you an oversight of that general area, the housing, neighborhood, transportation. You can actually click on view on AARP and it'll pull up some more information in a more friendly way for people to look at. It even breaks down by demographic, which I think is really cool as far as what their occupations are. So in this neighborhood, we see an abundance of healthcare and social assistance. Maybe it's close to a hospital, but this is just good information for us to have. And I think a lot of neighbors definitely want to know anything they can about their neighborhood. Now, here's all this information. What can we do with it? Well, the coolest thing they have is this little button right here. But I also want to show you before I do that, this is a summary, but you can actually dive in deep. This is another great one that I love to screenshot and use in a social media post on Nextdoor. Or if you have buyers or sellers that live in this area, what a great email to send to them, just this snapshot. It looks at that particular neighborhood versus the whole city versus the county, the state, and the United States. So you have a really great reporting trend where they can look at and see where their neighborhood fares among the city and the county and the state and the country that we live in. Talks about list price. It even shows you how many own in that neighborhood versus how many rent in that neighborhood. So this is really cool information. Now, let's go back for a moment. And again, we can do this with people. It'll tell you the education levels, the economy in that area. So when we're on summary, now what I want to do is I don't want to figure out what to say about this market report. In fact, I hate it. I'm not good at it. I'm good at a lot of things, guys. I taught for years. I like teaching. I like talking. I am not a great writer. Lexi in here is a phenomenal writer, by the way, but I just need help with it. I don't know. I don't use creative words and I just want to say what it is and it's not interesting. So over here, I press the create script button. Now this is where things get awesome. So now you can choose your tone, okay? If you want it to be professional, you can choose the professional tab. If you would like it to be more engaging or more conversational. For me personally, I like the conversational the best for my purposes. So you can choose any tone that you want. And over here, you can choose if it should be directed towards buyers and sellers, just everybody who's in that neighborhood, or buyers itself, or just sellers. Now, there's three things that we can do in here. That is so cool. So number one, if you want to make more videos and just do very short videos about market reports for certain areas or certain neighborhoods or whatever, you can do that. And after you click on your tone, you create video script. Now from here, you can edit some of the details if you want to change some of the wording, but I'm not lying. This is like so easy. I usually don't need to change it because I feel like it's done exactly what I would want to say. So it goes into details. So it even says, me, a friendly realtor, I'm standing in front of this beautiful house, okay, in that neighborhood. Okay. From there, it gives you the scripts. And it's very cool because from the scripts, once you have that background image of the beautiful house or whatever you're going to use, it tells you now you can just talk and in your video, use the slides that are provided in NARRPR. So you're essentially talking like I am now, like a screen recording, and you're showing the data, which takes a lot of pressure off, I think. It tells you exactly what to say on each slide. It even tells you when to add the closing music. Now, if you're that fancy, cool, but that's not my wheelhouse. So I just get to the facts, I show the video, and I'm done with it. Now, what if I want to create something for social media? This is a great tool for Nextdoor. If you're on Nextdoor, you can post this and neighbors love it. They will comment on how helpful this is. So I press on social campaign. And again, AI is generating the script. Now, for this one, I really like the conversational one as well because it adds emojis. If you're not an emoji person, you can choose professional tone and it won't have it. But these are all different posts. You can post all of it as one, but this is so you can continue with information over the course of the week or so using this data. So one of the posts would say, hey there, potential buyers and sellers in Hedingham. As your trusted realtor from eXp Realty, I'm here to provide you with the latest market trends and update. Did you know that as of now, there's only 1.64 months of inventory in Hedingham? This means the market is currently favoring sellers. So from here, you can use this and attach it with one of the images that you got on those market trends. And now you have a great social media post. Now, what if you just want to go to just sellers? Let's see what that would look like. So it will revisit it. And we'll see what the difference is when you choose a particular type of person in the neighborhood, buyer or seller. So this is kind of what it looks like. It gives the facts, the list to sold price percentage, which is very important for sellers to know, how long it's going to be on the market. And during the last 12 months, we've seen a decrease of over 11% in the months of supply. So that's indicating to them that there's not a lot of reserves left over in the neighborhood. It might be a good opportunity for them to kind of stand out. Now, the last tool is to analyze the metrics. Now, this one I'm less familiar with, but it does give good information. And what I find that it does is it explains to buyers and sellers what some of these terms mean for them and what it means. So, like when they say consider the month's supply of inventory, which is 1.64, it tells them what that metric means. We kind of get bogged down in real estate with all these terms that we take for granted and think that the typical homeowner will know. But a lot of times they're not understanding what that particular metric even means for them. So I do like that as well. And again, if you want to do something and you want it to be more professional, like for your professional page, I'll show you the difference with that. So we'll go over to the professional tone right over here, and we'll do it for buyers. Okay. Has anyone not played around with this tool? Perfect. You guys will have so much fun with it. I love everybody's EXP background. Everybody got it from Wendy. She gave it to me. I'm like, yes, it's so cute.
Jennifer, there's a question in the chat.
Okay, what is it? I can't. Oh, let me see. Thanks, Lexi. Did you download the template from APR directly? What template, Lavina?
The Canva template, did you download from the RPR?
RPR, so I'll show you exactly where that is. Let me just show you this. Okay, so let's go back. So now we kind of know how we can use these market trends, which to me is the best. Again, I love the housing trends. I love to snapshot this and then use the social media post that they give you. And I post it in Nextdoor. Or if you run a Facebook group for your community. Now, Lavina, so let me go back over here. Give me just 1 second. Okay. I link in this Canva guide that I'm going to give to you all, it links to the website that has these templates, but I'll go here and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. So our PR, really, it's huge. You could get lost in this for months. So this is just to kind of help you with some of the key features that I like. But this is the site, and you'll get it in your Canva guide that I'm going to give you, where it can actually show you the Canva templates, different graphics you can use, logos you can use, and videos that you can have. So for this, you can do a postcard template, and it has several that you can already use, and they are compatible with obviously Canva. They'll upload directly to them. I'll show you how that works. You can even create presentations for this information, or you can use it simply for a post on social media. Now, let me show you. So for this, if I was to click on postcard, and I like this postcard, I would click on it. And then you're going to have this option to use this template for a new design. So when you use this template for a new design, what I would do is I would use a photo that is representative of that neighborhood if you have one. If not, you can even go to Google Maps and Hedingham in Raleigh. And we can go to the picture of the clubhouse or whatever. Make sure you're not breaking any copyright rules, but for the purposes of this, I'm just going to kind of take an image and just kind of show you. So I would go back over to my template. I could enter it in. Hold on 1 second. So I could drag it just in to where the picture is, like that. And in here, I might say Hedingham. Okay. Let's transfer it out. I could change my colors to meet my logo and even change the font color. Now from here, what do I do with this information? So I would change it. This was November data, but since we use the November data in December, I like to say as of December 2023. Okay. Now, all you have to do with this is once we go back to our, where we have that information in NARRPR, let me go to home. We'll do it again. So when we go to research and we go to neighborhood search, we click on the neighborhood we'd like. Okay. Now, I would take this, it's formatted the same way. So it's 1.64 months of inventory. I would go back over to what I'm working on and I would change that to 1.64. Did it increase? This one increased. So I would click on the arrow, use this rotate button, rotate it around 180 degrees and make it green or whatever color you want to do to indicate an increase. Okay. And all of these facts, this over here, month over month, how much it increased, are all located right underneath. Look at this, 107.59% over month. So I would just take that stat, I would plug it in, and I would continue until I have correctly represented the features for this monthly market update in that neighborhood. Over here, obviously, you're going to upload your information, your logo, and it's very, very easy to do if I could ever get through all of the templates that I have in my, but hopefully your Canva is not quite as busy. This is just a silly picture, but we'll use it. And we can change all the coloring, everything. Oops, we don't want that to change colors. We want everything to be customizable with whatever our color scheme is for, you know, our marketing materials. But that is how you use that tool. Does anyone have any questions about that particular tool as a whole?
No, not the tool, but I'd like to know when you finish with that, do you post it directly from them? How do you send it out?
Okay, great. So for this particular one, because I was making a postcard, there's a few things. I'm glad you brought that up because actually there's a few other things that I need to share with you about that. But so if you decide to use the postcard, let me share my screen. Okay, so we're back over here to the postcard. Now, if I want to use this one, Lavina, I would use this as a mailer, okay, not as a social media post. So I would edit all this information. Now, from here, what's really cool is, remember I told you you could download those prospect lists. So, you know, whether it's people in Hedingham or if it's sellers who've been in their house 10 to 15 years. One way to use this is on these lines that are left blank for, you know, the name and address. I go over to text and I insert a little bit of text box right here. And then I copy and paste it. All right, now here's the coolest feature. So from here, if we wanted to go right through Canva and do the postcards right through Canva, we can do that. Here's what you do. So let's say over in here, I have created whatever prospecting list that I want. I go ahead and I download the CSV, which I showed you how to do earlier. And now we're over in our Canva because we want to send out postcards to that group of people. It could be like this postcard or it could be any other one. From here, we add the text boxes for the name and the address of the person. And we are going to go over to bulk create on the left side. We are going to upload the CSV that we download, whatever it is. Okay, it's in there. Now, we're going to click on the text where we want some of these fields to go. If you have a Mac, you have to right click, okay? So normal users, you'll right click. If not, you're going to press Control if you have a Mac. So Control, and I'm going to click on it. And it's going to say Connect Data. So I'm going to press Connect Data. And we're going to do the full owner's name, the first owner's name, or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to do the owner's full name. Okay. From here, I'm going to Control click on my Mac or right click on your normal stuff and connect data. And this one, I want their address. So we're going to put their address right here. And then whatever you want on these lines, again, you would right click and connect data, okay? From there, it's going to provide you an option to print the postcards. And it's going to take this information, okay, these merge tags or whatever you want to say, and it's going to allow you to print these postcards and they're going to go out to each of those people on the list, okay? Another option would be to download your postcard and upload it into whatever postcard or mail service provider that you want to use to send this information out to. Now, if I was to just want to do a social media post, what I would do is, I like this one. You can do any of these individual graphs that you want, okay? And again, you can even get the housing, you can look at the quality of life, whatever you want to showcase. So from there, oh, I just lost it. We'll have to go back. Heading, Okay. So from there, if I want to create a social media type of campaign, let's just say it's professional. I really like the conversational, but we'll do social or professional. And I create the social media text that I want. From there, I'm going to copy the social media text or edit it or whatever you want to do with it. Okay. So this is the professional one. It actually looks pretty cool. But okay, so you would just copy the text like that. And then from here, I would take whatever image that I want, or I can download these individual cards. I can share them if I want, but I want to just copy them. So I can take a picture of this one, this chart. And then I can go over to my Facebook page like this, if I want to do it on Facebook. And then I can paste the message. I can upload the photo. Let's see where it is. Right there. And then I can just click next. I like to use it in Nextdoor, like I said, so you can decide how you want to use that tool, but that's what I do with it, Lavina. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. That
You're
was
welcome.
very helpful.
Okay, good. Okay, so I don't want to go too fast. So does anyone else have a question just about that in general? Go ahead, Bonnie.
Are you going to send us a link or a replay of this? Because that's a lot of information.
Yeah, so what I was planning on doing is once this is done, I have it set to record, and so I'm going to wait for it to download. It is also going to go into that Canva tutorial. So this meeting will go into the tutorial along with the step-by-step guide. It'll have supporting videos, it'll have everything, so it'll be just easy for you guys. You don't have to remember this because it is a lot of information. So I want to,
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. Yeah, just give me, I think, probably 20 minutes for it to record. And then what I'll do is, if you could, like, I don't know everybody's email, but if you're in here, I'll just go ahead and send you the link by Messenger. And that way you'll just have it in your inbox and you can use it for your resources. The last thing I'm going to talk to you about is something that's the newest to me. And it's a very, very cool. So there is a way to really target your investor clients. So we talked about how to target your buyers, your sellers, your market area with your neighborhood searches. But the last thing that I like to do with this is if you have investor clients, commercial or residential, by the way, or you just want to target investors, there is something called opportunity zones. You can look it up. It is a federal, how do they word it? It is I didn't even write it down, but I have it in here. So I'll use this to kind of help me go through it. But Opportunity Zones was started in 2017, and it's a way to identify investor areas and potential home sellers. So it was created as the Federal Qualified Opportunity Zone. It's a program in 2017 called the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, if you guys aren't familiar with that. But the goal really started for areas that are either rural and that have at least 20% poverty in that area, or that they're economic disadvantaged areas. Now, the goal is to encourage that economic growth in those areas. So what they did was they put all of these great incentives for people who are buying and building and growing in these areas. That was the purpose. So number one, one of the things that they give you an opportunity for is to have reduced tax incentives. For instance, if you have an investor that has some capital gains that they're wanting to reinvest, they can reinvest in these opportunity zones and not have to pay capital gains tax on it. And that program will go until December 31st, 2026. So until 2026, they don't have to pay those capital gains. Then at that time, what's even cooler is once they do have to pay for it, there is a limitation on depreciation taxes that they pay on it. But more importantly, if they stay in that area for long term, 10 years or more, they never have to pay it, and they never get affected by the depreciation. I forgot what it's called, depreciation ratio, but let's just take a look at, let me share my screen again. Okay. So like I said, you get a temporary tax deferral until 2026, and then you can step up in basis for capital gains reinvested in an opportunity fund. And then you have permanent exclusion from taxable income when you are there for 10 or more years. Now, how to identify these zones. So just so you know, this little graphic right here, this is a highlight of the economic opportunity zones that are available throughout our country. In this Canva guide, again, I link it to this really helpful guide. But what's so cool about this guide is that it gives you state-specific information and resources based on whatever state you live in. So when I go over here to North Carolina, it'll showcase some of the highlights of the program, and you can learn more, but it gives you the program overview. It gives you additional details about the tax cuts. That way you can actually inform your investors specifically about the terms and what the benefits are by the state you live in. Now, how do you find these opportunity zones? Well, in NARRPR, they make it very helpful. So you go over here, and we're going to go ahead and research, and I want to base it on a map. So let's just put in my entire city, because usually if I have investors looking, you know, they're looking citywide. I mean, they don't usually have very specific criteria other than this is what I want to spend. This is the area I want to stay in. Now, it says too many results, so here's what we're going to do. It pulls up the map of Raleigh. From here, there's something that says show geographies. And what you're going to do is whatever area you select, you're going to click on opportunity zones. Now, if you look at this, in these opportunity zones, these are the areas that have those federal tax cuts, federal opportunity zones that are marked. You can even speak to your lender about this. So for instance, if I was to click in this area, maybe they want to stay close to Northeast Raleigh, I can click on one of these opportunity zones. I can create a market report. I can even create a neighborhood report. But let's just say that I want to create a market report. Actually, let's just see. We'll search that area. If I want to search this area, I could even search it just for things that are for sale, right? So I can look over here and I can go to filters, and I can go to property types. Let's just see. Hold on one second. Like I said, I'm just learning this as well. So I want to go for sale homes. Property types, let's just say that they're looking for townhomes and condos. Okay, we'll click on that. And then from there, they want to stay in a max price of $450,000.
You want to do just for sale?
Yes.
That's going to be under type status. It's clicked, yeah.
So we'll go to, the active status for sale. And so there is currently, if they're looking for condos and townhomes under $450,000 in opportunity zones where they can get some additional tax incentives to be there, there are 181 opportunities. Now, I can narrow this down further. Maybe they do not want 2 bedrooms. A lot of investors tell me they don't want 2 bedrooms. So we're going to go to 3 bedrooms or more. They like to have at least 2 full baths. You can add whatever you want. They want something that's at least 1,200 square feet, and they don't want anything bigger than 2,000. So you can get real specific if you want. So from there, I'm going to press update and search. Oh, nothing was found in that. Of course it wasn't, because I had to use the examples. So we'll just go single family, type status, for sale, active. Okay. And we'll just take all of this extra stuff off. Let's see what we got. 1 property. Okay, so from here, I would be able to see the one property that's available right now, and I could showcase that to my investor client on a one-on-one basis. But more importantly, it gives me some wonderful tools and talking points for other investors. So something else that I was thinking, because like I said, this is more of a new concept that I'm exploring on NARRPR because it's just too big. There's so much you can do with this tool at no additional cost when you're a realtor. But a great talking point to your audience if you want to make a little video, if you do use social media, or if you have particular clients, you can create a little video that says right now in Raleigh, North Carolina, there are 181 properties in opportunity zones. And opportunity zone is this, and it offers these benefits and these discounts. You know, reach out if you want to find out more. Or if you have a particular investor client, now they know that they're with someone that is savvy with investors and someone that is trying to find them additional opportunities to not only grow their investment portfolio, but that are looking to get some federal deals because of this federal program. So all of this, again, is in our Canva tutorial that I'm creating for you. So if you would, just on Facebook, just message me and just say Canva or whatever, so I know that you were in here. And that way I'll just quickly send you guys over the link. It'll take me about 30 minutes to do so once this records and downloads, and I'll send it out to everyone. But I hope this was helpful. NARRPR is a ton of information and you can get overloaded. But for new agents or seasoned agents, this is a great way to download leads for no cost, for prospecting, for sending out social media campaigns, for building postcards, and all of it is available to you right through NARRPR. Before we get off, did anyone else have questions or anything that they want to add or some other cool tool that they've used in NARRPR?
I have a question real quick. Do you think that for the opportunity zones that it would be like, let's say you're representing a seller, would that be something that would be good to kind of advertise?
100%.
And if so, like, do you know of a website where you could just, like how you can like search
USDA.
USDA properties and stuff like that? Is there a way to search an address to see if it's in an opportunity zone?
I don't know if there's that capability. So you have the opportunity, obviously, through this site, but in Canva, that state-specific resource guide, you guys will all get it. When you click on North Carolina, it has more detailed information on opportunity zones. So it may very well be something in there, but it's very good information for the individual states. So I would look in there. But yes, it's a great conversation piece because what I would do is if I was selling a home in an opportunity zone, okay, besides marketing it to, our sphere on MLS and social media, now it allows you to connect with a lender that you trust and say, can you provide some sort of additional information that I can include in the marketing of this home about it being in an opportunity zone and what that would mean? That way, your lender has an opportunity to perhaps gain business from an investor buyer looking for someone who knows about it. But it is a great highlight for those properties that might be in more rural or distressed areas to really highlight why that house shines versus some other properties for investors in that area. That's what I would do. Anyone else have any questions or thoughts before we get off?
So Jennifer, you wanted us to send a text message or something on your site. Yeah. Is it your personal or is it on this Wednesday site?
Just
because the Wednesday site, I don't see a way to send a message unless it's a private message, but on the personal we can.
Yeah, we're friends on personal Facebook, Lavina. So I would just message me on there.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that way I'll go ahead and send over the Canvas stuff to you in about 30 minutes. But I hope this was helpful. I know it's a lot of information, and I hope everybody has a really happy holiday if you celebrate. And I'll see you at the beginning of the year, I guess.
Thank you. And I love your last picture in the bus.
In the what? Oh, the bus? Thanks.
Beautiful.
Thank you. All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Bye, Jennifer. Thank you.